Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Autumn and I'm the Astro Chick. And in today's episode, I would like to talk about the commencement of eclipse season 2024 with the lunar eclipse in the sign of Libra on March 25th. Let's get to it. Our ancestors were terrified of eclipses, but as modern folk, we have a better understanding of eclipses. We can predict them for thousands of years. So in a way, this gives us this false sense of security that somehow we have control over them. Like, oh, we know when they're going to happen. So they don't catch us by surprise anymore. But the portents of the eclipses are always about change, great change, because an eclipse is a disruption of light, right? And a disruption of light is often a disruption of life. Right? And the lunar part of life is the internal life. It's the emotions, it's the opinions, it is your feelings, right? And so for this lunar eclipse, we have to be conscious of what Venusian seed was planted in October of 2023 when we had the Libra solar eclipse, because that issue has been seeded and growing since October. And that is probably the issue that we're needing to let go of. Venusian issues are issues of love, money, relationships, desire. Okay, Venus is the desire factor. How have your feelings changed? Do you no longer like something that you used to? Because that's okay. You know, we can all change our minds. We can all change how we feel, right? So this is a time of knowing what you need to let go of so that you can move forward with the fresh Aries energy as we move into the equinox. So this eclipse occurs a couple days after the equinox. So we already have this fresh Aries energy about us, right? And this lunar eclipse is just reminding us, in order to be an individual, in order to go forth in our own individual change, we have to release some of that emotional baggage or some of that the issues of Venus that we no longer want anymore, we don't need. And it could be, I know it's sad to say, but it could be not wanting to be with a partner anymore. It could be wanting a different job, you know, making less money but having more life, like, you know, having come to decisions that have to do with your livelihood, that have to do with your comfort zone. These are the types of issues that you might have to be releasing at this time in order to spur that great Aries energy, which is going to be just like ping ponging off the walls when we have that solar eclipse on the 8th of April. This eclipse is a penumbral eclipse, which is a lot subtler than the solar eclipse is going to be. This is actually the shadow of Earth's penumbra going over the moon, but you will see a distinct shadow, believe that. It's going to be visible around 3 o'clock in the morning on the 25th. The event chart's pretty cool because Venus as ruler is in her exaltation in the sign of Pisces. Exaltation is the capacity to be the best expression of that planet. So it's in a place like Pisces, which is very spiritually inclined, that Venus can do her best work because she could serve compassion to the needy here. She can serve unconditional love to her children. She is exalted in a way in which her best qualities come out in a heightened type of expression. You know, so she's beautiful here, very shiny and loving, and being the ruler of the lunation, you know, she wants what's best for you. Also, she is in the sign of Jupiter and Jupiter is in the sign of Venus, so there's like a mutual reception between them, which is fantastic because they are the benefics in astrology. They're the goody goodies, right? And they have the capacity to bring abundance and growth and fortune and good things to you. And working together, you know, they're also in an aspect, a sexual relationship in a sextile. And a sextile is opportunity, right? There's a chance that if you use this energy, you could reap the benefits of the abundance. And we're also working with two signs that are extremely fertile. Like Pisces is water sign, the universal water sign. And then Taurus is the temple of the goddess, fixed spring, when everything is budding, and it's very fecundant. So exciting energy as we come into spring and we have this lunation. Now, the fact that Venus is in charge of all of this, and she just is separating from Saturn. She came up, kissed Saturn, gave him some advice on how to row his boat in Pisces, because Saturn's not comfortable there. And I think that because Venus has the upper hand in the sign of Pisces, she's social. She's always mingling with planets. So every time she comes to a planet, I think she's given them advice on how to handle that energy, especially if it's her good energy. I think planets help each other out in that way. But what else is she doing? She's exalted. She's coming out of the conjunction with Saturn. She's in the sextile with Jupiter and Uranus. So Jupiter-Uranus is coming into a conjunction. That energy is activated. It's within the orb to actually feel this coming on, because let's see, Jupiter's 15, Uranus is 20. So within 5 degrees, yeah, it's activated and it's starting to apply. So we have all of these factors of spring. We have an Aries sun, so fresh and just lit up. We're on fire about it. Venus is in this fecundant sign of her exaltation in Pisces, with this universal type of love and understanding and compassion that she has. Jupiter's helping her out. He's like, girl, let me help you with this, right? So there's a lot of potential in this chart, that whatever it is that we're letting go of, because that's the lesson of the lunar, the lunation being with the south node, right? Is that some emotion, some opinion, some taste is being let go of, okay? And that is going to create new spaces in your life to fill with abundance, because of all of the association with the benefics that we have in this chart. So there's an underlying Piscean influence in all of this astrology, in both of the eclipses that occur, both the lunar and the solar, but also in the rulership of Venus. And she's, each of the planets that rule over the nodes when these eclipses happen. So that would be Venus and Mars. At the time of the respective eclipses, they're both in the sign of Pisces. So the rulership is handed down to Jupiter, no matter which way you look at it. So he's kind of like the undercover daddy of all of this, right? And that's good, because Jupiter's a good guy, right? He expands everything. I mean, the worst that you get with Jupiter is gluttony and overdoing something, exaggeration, or blowing something up, But for the most part, he wants growth and abundance and goodwill towards each other. So also the fact that America is going through a progressed new moon lunation at the same time as this lunar eclipse. It's wild. It's like, yeah, America's starting a new chapter. Her people, because the moon represents the people in the chart of a nation. Okay, so we have this new sense of being. Perhaps it's a spiritually inclined, because it's occurring in the sign of Pisces, and that's another correlation to this underlying Piscean influence of Jupiter. Jupiter is also currently applying that conjunction to Uranus, which is extremely powerful and also very creative. We have a lot of like growing type energy at our fingertips. So in embracing Jupiter's guidance, to grow and to expand, I think that is the positive aspect of all of this, because it's hard to look at eclipses as good things, but you also can't look at them as just bad. You have to see them as change, and the symbolism of the rulership can give you an idea of like how you should be flowing with that energy. And Jupiter is optimistic and faithful, very very upbeat, and it sees the possibilities in all things. This is just some information on the nodes of the moon. Did you know that the nodes move in the mean motion of retrograde. So they're always moving backwards. That means that they ingress a sign at the 29th degree. Fascinating. Also, you have a nodal return every 18 years, and every 9 years you have a reverse nodal return. It's a good time to write down your feelings during those times to see how you are doing on your evolutionary path. The two branches of astrology that I gained the most knowledge of nodes from would be Vedic astrology, which is very different than Western, but still, it has a lot of value to me. I love Vedic astrology, and also evolutionary astrology. Those two branches of astrology were the places in which I found most of the information I was seeking about understanding the nature of the nodes. So, in Vedic astrology, they call the north node, the north node Rahu, and the south node is Ketu. And Ketu has more of a negative connotation, and it is the principle of decrease or loss, whereas Rahu is the principle of increase, and it's more associated with the more positive aspect of gaining. And in evolutionary astrology, the north node is seen as the way forward, the way to your evolution of your soul. And the south node, and also like your life's mission, right? And your south node is seen more as your past lives, your past tendencies, any inherent skills that you're born with, but also, unfortunately, our hang-ups that we bring with us from past lifetimes, because we carry things with us from lifetime to lifetime if we do not figure it out in the lifetime that, we just had. So you'll often see the nodes being called karmic for the sense that because these are about the past and the future, they have to do with the evolution of our soul. And by letting go of the past through our south node, we can therefore then move forward and have a soul evolution. So the nodes are totally about soul evolution. These are the eclipses of 2024. We have the lunar on the 25th of March. We have the Great North American Total Solar Eclipse on April 8th. It's going to be a whammy, okay? So make sure you have glasses. Make sure that you're safe. Make sure that if you travel, you have gas in your tank and you're prepared for delays. Make sure you got a little extra cash. And I see people freaking out online. They're like, why do we have to be so prepared when an eclipse happens? What are they not telling us? It's just the fact that it's an event and people are going to be traveling to see it. And anytime you get a congestion of people in one place, you run out of things like gas and food and places to sleep, right? And it can be dangerous because if you're on the road, if you're traveling, you got tired people, who have been delayed. It can be dangerous, right? So it's good to have a backup. It's good to have extra food. It's good to have extra gas. It's good to have a plan, okay? And don't forget your glasses. That's one of the most important things. Thanks for watching, everyone. I truly appreciate it. If you liked what I have here, please hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when I release new videos. Good luck with the lunar eclipse, and check out my video on the solar eclipse. That's going to be a wild ride. Until then, I'll catch y'all later.